They handed her a broken rifle on purpose. Filed down the firing pin so it wouldn't fire. Sergeant Wade smiled when he did it, the same man she'd reported for assault 3 months back. Now they were rolling into hostile territory, 8 soldiers against an army, and Emma Reyes held a weapon that couldn't save anyone. But what Wade didn't know, what nobody knew, was that the quiet medic strapping that useless M4 to her chest had once been something far more dangerous. And some ghosts don't stay buried. Before we begin, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. This story gets darker, it gets real, and you're going to want to see how it ends. And drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from. I want to see how far Emma's story travels. Now, let's get into it. Wade dropped the rifle into Emma's hands. She caught it. Wade was wrong immediately. Your weapon, Lance Corporal. That smile, the one that made her skin crawl. Emma pulled back the charging handle. Empty chamber. She pressed the forward assist. Felt it. Wrong. All wrong. This rifle is yours for today's patrol. Wade crossed his arms. Problem? Emma popped the upper receiver. Didn't need to look long. The firing pin was filed down. 2 millimeters. Maybe 3. Professional job. Deliberate. Firing pin's damaged. This won't fire. Won't fire. Wade's eyebrows shot up, playing dumb. That's serious, Reyes. It's sabotage. Then take it to the captain. He turned away. Conversation over. We roll out in 15. Emma stood there, 8 soldiers watching, waiting to see what she'd do. Torres looked away first. Kid couldn't hold eye contact to save his life. Kowalski just shook his head. Not his fight. Nobody else moved. 3 months. That's how long it had been since Martinez. Emma walked toward the command tent. Each step felt heavier than the last. Captain Brooks was bent over a map. Didn't look up when she entered. Sir, safety violation. My rifle won't fire. Make it quick, Reyes. Wheels up in 12. Firing pin's damaged. Need a replacement before patrol. Brooks looked up now. Tired eyes. Too many deployments written on his face. Who issued it? Sergeant Wade. Brooks set down his pen. Slow, deliberate. You check it before accepting. Checked it after I felt the weight was off. Pins filed down. Deliberate. That's a serious accusation. It's the truth. Brooks leaned back. You want to know the truth? Reyes. Truth is, we got 8 bodies going into Indian country today. 1 medic. That's you. Truth is, I don't have time for another complaint about Wade. Sir, this isn't a complaint. This is a non-functional. Then make it work. Brooks picked up his pen. Done with her. Or stay behind. 11 minutes either way. Captain. Dismissed. Emma walked out. The broken rifle felt like it weighed 100 pounds. Kowalski was checking tires when she approached. Captain, give you a new one. No. Figures. He straightened. What now? Emma looked at the rifle, at the filed down pin, at the proof someone wanted her dead. I'm going. With this. Kowalski studied her face. You're crazy. Probably. Watch yourself out there. Always. Emma climbed into the 3rd Humvee. Chen was already there, counting ammunition. Again. Always counting something. Heard about your rifle, Chen said. Didn't look at her. News travels. Want my sidearm. The offer hung there. Real. Risky for him. I'm good. Your call. Chen loaded a fresh mag. 47 days. What? 47 more days. Then I'm out. Home. Done. Emma strapped the broken rifle across her chest. Hope you make it. Yeah, me too. The convoy started rolling. 06:27 hours. 4 Humvees. 8 soldiers. 1 broken rifle. Radio crackled. All units Stonewall 6, we are green. Route Copper to Checkpoint Falcon. North along Canal Road. ETA 45 mics. How copy? Stonewall 2 solid copy. Stonewall 3 good copy. Stonewall 4, Roger. Emma closed her eyes. The Humvee vibrated beneath her. Diesel smell, gun oil, fierce sweat. She'd done this before. 7 years ago. Different name, different rank, different life. Gunnery Sergeant Emma Reyes, Force Recon, 2nd Battalion, call sign Phantom, Ramadi, 2018. 7 Marines went in, 1 came out. She'd buried that person, that life, those memories, buried them deep. Chen nudged her. You good? Fine. You don't look fine. I'm always fine. Right. Chen went back to counting. Under his breath, always counting. Torres's voice crackled. Stonewall 6 got weird tire wear on lead vehicle. Should probably check it. Wade's response was instant. Stonewall 2 negative. We're on timeline. Drive through it. Sergeant, I really think you questioning my orders, Torres. Silence. Then, no, Sergeant. Driving through. Kowalski's voice. Private channel. Kid's right. That wear pattern's bad. Wade. Kid's a nervous rookie. Sees problems everywhere. Emma opened her eyes. Chen was staring at nothing. Lips moving. Counting again. The canal road opened up ahead. Dry concrete scar cutting through nothing. Hills on both sides. Emma felt it. Gut instinct. The same one that kept her alive when everyone else died. Chen. Yeah. Count the hills, east side, good firing positions. Chen looked. Lips stopped, started again. Slower. 7. Maybe 8. West side. 6. Could be 7. And we're in the low ground. Chen turned to her. You thinking ambush? I'm thinking this is a bad place to be. Chen keyed his radio. Stonewall 6 recommend we reconsider route. Terrain's bad. Brooks. Stonewall 4 negative. Shortest route. Behind schedule. Sir, this is textbook kill zone. Noted. Continue route. Emma pulled the broken rifle into her lap. Started taking it apart in her mind. Bolt carrier group. Gas tube. Buffer spring. Firing pin. The pin was the problem. Everything else worked. She needed a pin. Or something close enough. Her medical kit. Metal probe. Surgical steel. Right length. Too thin. Chen watched her dig through the kit. What are you doing? Fixing it. With medical equipment. You got a better idea. Emma pulled the bolt carrier apart. Extracted the broken pin. Held it next to the probe. Length was close. Mass was wrong. Wire. She needed wire. Chen, give me your paracord. Why? Just give it. He handed it over. Emma pulled it apart. 7 inner strands. She wrapped them around the probe. Tight. Even. Building mass. Medical tape. More wire. More tape. Reyes, that's not going to work. Probably not. It'll blow up in your face. Maybe. She needed something to stabilize it. Keep it centered. Rubber seal from a saline flush. She cut it. Shaped it. Wedged it around the probe base. Better. Not perfect, but better. Emma reassembled the bolt carrier, slid it back, charged the weapon. The bolt locked forward. You're insane, Chen said. Yep. That thing's gonna jam. Probably. Emma aimed at the floor, pulled the trigger. Click. No bang. But the hammer dropped. The probe struck forward. Whether it would actually fire a round, that was the question. If that works, I'll eat my boots, Chen said. Save your appetite. Torres again on radio. Stonewall 6. Tire wear's getting worse. Feeling vibration. Wade. How far to Falcon, Brooks? 15 miles. Wade. We can make 15. Torres, keep driving. Sergeant. The tire exploded. Not a deflation. An explosion. The lead Humvee lurched right. Torres fighting the wheel. Then the RPG hit. The world turned into fire. The Humvee flipped. Jenkins and the 50 cal went flying. His body tumbled through the air like a rag doll. Emma's door was open before the vehicle hit the ground. She was out. Running. The valley exploded into gunfire. East hills, west hills, muzzle flashes everywhere. Bullets hitting sand armor flesh. Someone screaming. Someone calling for medic. Someone praying in Spanish. Torres was still in the driver's seat, upside down, blood everywhere. "Chen, cover," Emma's voice, not a medic's voice, something else. Chen was already firing, controlled bursts, good technique. Kowalski dragged Jenkins toward cover. Wade was shouting. Nobody could hear him. Emma reached the overturned Humvee, pulled herself up. Torres was conscious, trapped, legs pinned under the dashboard. "Can't feel my legs." His voice was calm, too calm. Shock. "Can't feel anything." "You're fine. Stay with me." Emma's hands moved, checking bleeding, checking airway. "Just stay with me." "Is Jenkins okay?" "Jenkins is fine." Lie. But Torres didn't need truth right now. Bullets stitched across the Humvee's underside. Emma ducked, felt them pass overhead. "Reyes," Kowalski's voice. "Multiple wounded." Emma made the call in 2 seconds. Torres was stable, others might not be. "Hold on, I'm coming back." She dropped down, stayed low, moved fast. The broken rifle bounced against her chest. Useless. Maybe. Chen was behind the third Humvee, firing, pinned down. Emma slid in beside him. "How many shooters?" 5, maybe 6 on the east. Can't see west. "Ammo." 4 mags. "Give me one." Chen looked at her, at the rifle. That thing work now. About to find out. Emma loaded the mag, charged the weapon. Everything felt wrong. Balance was off. Weight was bad. The makeshift pin was prayer wrapped in wire. She found a target. East Hills. 300 meters. Shooter behind a rock. Muzzle flash visible. She aimed, breathed, let the training take over. The training she'd buried 7 years ago. The training that said she was dead. She pulled the trigger. The rifle fired. The recoil felt wrong. The sound was wrong. But the bullet went down range. The shooter dropped. Chen stared. Holy shit. Emma was already tracking the next target. "Find me more." "Who the hell are you?" "Right now. The only thing keeping us alive." She fired again. Hit. Another body down. "Now find me targets before they flank." Jesus Christ. Not him, just me. The battle was 90 seconds old. Felt like hours. Wade's voice on radio, fall back to second position. Emma keyed her radio. "Negative, we fall back, Torres dies, we stay and fight." "That's an order, Reyes." "Then come over here and give it in person, Sergeant." Emma fired, another hit. "Until then, I'm busy." Chen laughed. Actually laughed. "You just told Wade to go to hell." "Yeah, felt good too." Kowalski's voice. "Stonewall 6 Reyes is right. We move, we leave wounded. I'm staying." Wade. "Kowalski, that's..." Brooks cut in. "All units hold position. Defensive perimeter. QRF is en route. ETA 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Might as well be 12 hours. Emma's rifle jammed. She cleared it, charged it, fired again. The makeshift pin was holding. Barely. "Chen, count shooters. Give me numbers." Chen scanned. "East side 4 left. West side I'm seeing 3, maybe 4. That's 7 minimum. Against 8 of us. Against 6. Torres is down. Jenkins is..." Emma stopped. 6 of us. 6 against 7. I've had worse odds. When? Never. Chen fired, missed, cursed. But there's a first time for everything. Movement on the east ridge. 2 shooters repositioning, trying to flank. Emma tracked them, led the first one, squeezed, click, misfire. She cleared the jam, charged again, fired. The shooter went down. The second one saw his buddy fall, hesitated. That hesitation cost him. Emma's second shot caught him center mass. 2 down, Chen said. 5 left. That we can see. Don't ruin my optimism. Another RPG streaked across the sky, missed the second Humvee by 10 feet, exploded in the sand. Shrapnel pinged off armor. Wade was finally firing now from behind the command vehicle. Safe, protected. Kowalski was exposed, returning fire, covering the wounded. Emma checked her magazine. 4 rounds left. "Chen, I need more ammo." That's my last mag. Then make it count. Emma switched her aim to the west ridge. 3 shooters there. Maybe 4. Her finger found the trigger. The rifle felt like it might explode any second. The wire was fraying. The rubber seal was slipping. She fired. Hit. Fired again. Hit. The rifle jammed hard. She tried to clear it. The bolt wouldn't move. Damn it. What? It's done. The pin's shot. Emma pulled the rifle apart. The makeshift pin had bent, stripped, useless again. Well, it was good while it lasted. Yeah. Emma tossed the broken rifle aside, grabbed her sidearm. Beretta M9, 15 rounds. Not much against 7 shooters at 300 meters, but it was better than nothing. Chen, how's your ammo? 3 rounds. Kowalski, Chen keyed the radio. Kowalski ammo status. Half a mag, maybe 20 rounds. 23 rounds total between 3 shooters. 5 enemy confirmed. Maybe more hiding. The math wasn't good. Emma looked at Torres in the overturned Humvee, at Jenkins's body, at the blood in the sand. Something cold settled in her chest, something she'd buried for 7 years. Chen. Yeah. When the QRF gets here, tell them something for me. What? Tell them Phantom didn't stay dead. Chen stared at her. What the hell does that mean? Emma didn't answer. She was already moving, out from behind the Humvee, into the open, running toward the East Ridge. Reyes, what are you doing? Emma didn't answer. She ran, pistol in one hand, medical kit in the other. Bullets kicked up sand around her feet. She dodged left, right, didn't slow down. A shooter on the ridge stood up, aimed. Emma was faster. 2 shots. Center mass. He went down. She kept running, reached the base of the ridge, started climbing. Reyes, get back here. Wade's voice. Panicked now. That's an order. Emma climbed. Rocks cut her hands. She didn't care. Another shooter appeared above her. She fired before he could. Her slide locked back. Empty. The shooter fell, tumbled down the ridge past her. Emma grabbed his AK-47, checked the magazine. Half full. Good enough. She kept climbing. At the top of the ridge, she could see everything. The convoy below, the burning Humvee. Her squad pinned down. 2 more shooters on the west ridge. One on the east 20 meters away, unaware she was behind him. Emma raised the AK, sighted, fired. He dropped. The west ridge shooters saw her now, swung their weapons toward her. Emma was already moving, firing, advancing. One went down. The other ducked behind cover. She flanked him, came up on his blind side. He saw her too late. Emma fired. Silence. The valley went quiet. No more gunfire. No more explosions. Just wind and smoke, and the sound of someone crying. Emma stood on the ridge, AK in her hands, looking down at her squad. They were all staring up at her. Wade's face was pale. Kowalski's mouth was open. Chen was shaking his head in disbelief. Emma dropped the AK, started climbing back down. Her shirt had torn during the climb. The fabric hung loose across her left shoulder, revealing the tattoo underneath. USMC Force Recon / 2nd Battalion / Ramadi 2018. Below that 7 names. 7 Marines who died in an ambush. And 1 word in bold letters, Phantom Kowalski saw it first. His eyes went wide. Oh my God, Chen saw it next. No way. No way. Wade just stared. The color drained from his face. Emma reached the bottom of the ridge, walked back toward the convoy. Nobody spoke. The legend had been buried for 7 years. The Marine who fought alone for 2 hours in Ramadi, who held off 40 insurgents with nothing but a broken rifle and a prayer, who disappeared after the fight and never came back. Phantom. Everyone thought she was dead, or deserted, or broken. They were wrong. Emma walked past Wade without looking at him, past Brooks, past everyone. She went straight to Torres. Medic's back, she said. Let's get you out of there. Torres was crying, relief or pain or both. You saved us. Not yet, but I will. The QRF rolled up 8 minutes later. 50 Marines, 3 medics, full support. They found Emma working on Torres, Chen and Kowalski pulling security, Wade sitting against a tire staring at nothing. The QRF commander jumped out, looked around, saw the bodies on the ridges, saw the burning Humvee, saw Emma, saw her tattoo. Holy shit. Phantom. Emma didn't look up. Need a medevac for 3 wounded, 1 KIA. And I need someone to arrest Sergeant Wade for sabotage and attempted murder. Ma'am, that's not a request. The commander looked at Wade, at Emma, made his decision in 5 seconds. Corporal put Sergeant Wade in cuffs. Sir, you can't, Wade started. Shut up. The commander turned back to Emma. What else do you need? Nothing. Just get my wounded out of here. The medevac bird landed 12 minutes later. Torres Jenkins' body and 2 other wounded were loaded up. Emma stood in the dust storm from the rotors. Blood on her hands, dirt on her face. That tattoo visible for everyone to see. Chen walked up beside her. Didn't say anything, just stood there. After a while, 47 days. What? I had 47 more days. Now I got 46. Chen looked at her. You just made this deployment a hell of a lot more interesting, Phantom. I'm not Phantom anymore. Yeah. Tell that to the 7 bodies on those ridges. Chen started walking toward the Humvees. Stopped. Turned back. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're not dead. Thanks. Don't mention it. Literally, don't mention it. If people find out I was nice to you, my reputation's shot. Emma almost smiled. Almost. Kowalski approached next. He didn't say anything either. Just handed her a fresh rifle. Thought you might need this. Pin's intact. Checked it myself. Thanks. Don't thank me, just... Kowalski looked at the ridges, at the bodies. Just keep doing what you do. Whatever that is. I'll try. Wade was in cuffs in the back of an MP vehicle, staring at Emma through the window. His face was a mix of fear and hatred. Emma walked past without looking. Captain Brooks was talking to the QRF commander, pointing at maps, making excuses. His career was over. He just didn't know it yet. The convoy rolled back to base 3 hours later. Word had already spread. 200 Marines lined the route, standing at attention, silent. When Emma's Humvee passed, they started chanting, "Phantom, Phantom, Phantom." Emma stared straight ahead, didn't acknowledge them. Chen nudged her. You're famous. I don't want to be famous. Too late. You just became a legend twice. Most people don't get to do that once. The Humvee stopped at the command building. Emma climbed out. Every step felt heavy. A full colonel was waiting. Silver eagles on his collar, 3 rows of ribbons on his chest. Gunnery Sergeant Reyes. Emma stopped. Sir, that's your real rank, isn't it, before you disappeared? Yes, sir. Well, Gunnery Sergeant, you and I need to have a very long conversation. The colonel gestured toward the building. After you. Emma walked inside. Behind her, the chanting continued. Phantom, Phantom, Phantom. She'd spent 7 years trying to bury that name. Now it was back. And this time, it wasn't going away. The colonel's office was cold. Air conditioning running full blast. Emma's uniform was still soaked with sweat and blood and sand. Sit down, Gunnery Sergeant. Emma sat. The chair was hard, uncomfortable, probably on purpose. Colonel Morrison didn't sit. He stood by the window, looking out at the base, at the 200 Marines still gathered outside, still chanting. Phantom, Phantom, Phantom. You want to tell me what happened out there? Morrison asked. We were ambushed. Canal Road. I treated wounded and engaged hostiles. That's the short version. That's the accurate version. Morrison turned, looked at her, really looked at her. The long version, Gunnery Sergeant. The one that explains why a Lance Corporal medic just single-handedly eliminated 7 insurgents with a broken rifle and a prayer. Emma didn't answer. Or maybe, Morrison continued, the version that explains why a decorated Force Recon Marine disappeared 7 years ago and resurfaced as a nobody medic with a fake rank. It's not a fake rank, sir. I enlisted under... I know what you did. I pulled your file. Both of them. Morrison dropped a folder on the desk between them. Emma Marie Reyes, Gunnery Sergeant. Force Reconnaissance. 2nd Battalion. Silver Star. Bronze Star with Valor. Purple Heart. Ramadi 2018. 7 Marines, KIA. 1 survivor. Call sign, Phantom. Emma stared at the folder. Then, Morrison opened a second folder. Emma Marie Reyes, Lance Corporal, Combat Medic. No commendations, no disciplinary actions, no history. Just appeared 3 years ago and kept her head down. Sir, which one is real? Emma's jaw tightened. Both. Both. Morrison sat down, leaned back. You want to explain that? No, sir. That's not an option. With respect, sir, my personal history isn't relevant to what happened today. Your personal history is the only thing that explains what happened today. Morrison tapped the first folder. Ramadi, August 2018. Tell me about it. Emma's hands clenched. No. That's an order. Then court-martial me. Morrison studied her, silent, calculating. You know what I think happened in Ramadi, he said finally. I think you were set up. I think someone sent your team into a kill zone. I think 7 good Marines died. And I think you survived and realized you couldn't trust the people who were supposed to protect you. Emma's breathing was shallow, controlled. So you disappeared, Morrison continued, changed your identity, re-enlisted under a different rank, became invisible, because invisible people don't get sent into kill zones. Sir, am I wrong? Emma looked at him, at the folders, at the proof of 2 lives. No, sir, you're not wrong. Then help me understand. What happened in Ramadi? Emma closed her eyes, opened them. We got orders. Patrol Sector 7. Intel said it was clear, no hostile activity for 6 weeks. But it wasn't clear. No, it was a trap. 40 insurgents, pre-positioned, coordinated, professional. And your team? Dead in the first 2 minutes. RPG took out our vehicle. Small arms fire from 3 directions. Perfect ambush. But you survived. I fought. For 2 hours. Alone. Ran out of ammo. Used their weapons. Their grenades. Whatever I could find. And then, QRF arrived. I was extracted. Debriefed. They told me I was a hero. Gave me medals. Told me I'd be fine. But you weren't fine. Emma's voice was flat. Empty. They classified the after-action report. Sealed it. Told me to never talk about it. Said it was for national security. Why would they do that? Because someone didn't want people asking questions, like why we got sent there, why the intel was wrong, why nobody called for support until it was too late. Morrison leaned forward. You think someone in the Corps ordered that ambush? I don't think. I know. That's a serious accusation. It's the truth. Same truth I told them 7 years ago. Same truth they buried with classified stamps and non-disclosure agreements. So you disappeared. I disappeared. And today, Wade, the sabotaged rifle. Emma met his eyes. Same pattern. Send someone you don't like into a kill zone. Make sure they can't fight back. Hope they don't come home. And you think Wade was working alone? No. Who else? Captain Brooks knew. He dismissed my report about the rifle. Ordered me to go anyway. That's not negligence. That's complicity. Morrison was quiet for a long moment. You have proof. I have a broken rifle with a filed-down firing pin. I have 8 witnesses who saw Wade hand it to me. I have a captain who refused to replace it. That's not proof of a conspiracy. Then what is it? Poor judgment, bad leadership, negligence. Morrison stood, walked to the window again, but not conspiracy. Sir. However, Morrison turned. Poor judgment and bad leadership are still punishable offenses. Wade's already in custody. Brooks will be relieved of command within the hour. And then what? They get reassigned demoted. 6 months later, they're back doing the same thing to someone else. What do you want, Gunnery Sergeant? I want justice. Justice isn't always possible in the military. Then what's the point? Morrison didn't answer immediately. He looked out at the Marines, still chanting, still waiting. The point, he said finally, is that you're alive. Your squad is alive. 7 insurgents are dead. And every Marine on this base now knows that if they mess with you, they're messing with a legend. I don't want to be a legend. Too late. You already are. Morrison turned back. Which brings us to your future. My future, sir. Your real rank is gunnery sergeant. That's what you'll be reinstated as, effective immediately. Emma shook her head. I don't want it. Not your choice. You earned it. You've been living a lie for 3 years. Time to stop. Sir, I can't. You can. You will. Morrison's voice was firm, hard. You think you're protecting yourself by staying invisible. But all you're doing is letting the bad guys win. You disappear, they win. You stay silent, they win. You become a nobody, they win. And if I don't stay silent, if I don't stay invisible, then what I end up like Martinez, transferred to nowhere, or worse. Or, Morrison said, you stand up, you fight. You show every woman on this base that they don't have to disappear to survive. Emma's throat was tight. That's not fair. Fair. Morrison laughed, short, bitter. Nothing about this is fair. Martinez got assaulted and transferred. You got sabotaged and nearly killed. 7 Marines died in Ramadi because someone wanted them dead. None of that is fair. Then what do you want from me? I want you to be Phantom again. Not the ghost, the Marine, the one who doesn't quit, doesn't hide, doesn't let bastards like Wade win. Emma was quiet. Morrison picked up a phone, dialed, waited. Send them in. The door opened. Chen and Kowalski entered. Both looked uncomfortable. These two have something to say to you, Morrison said. Chen cleared his throat. We wanted to apologize. For what? For not backing you up. When you reported Wade, when you tried to get a new rifle. We stayed quiet. Kowalski nodded. Kid's right. We knew something was wrong. We knew Wade was dirty, but we didn't say anything. Why? Emma asked. Because we're cowards, Chen said. Simple, honest. We didn't want to get involved, didn't want to make waves, didn't want to risk our careers. And then today happened, Kowalski said. And we watched you fight with a broken rifle. Watched you save our lives. Watched you do what we should have done 3 months ago. Which is what? Stand up, Chen said. Fight back, not let the bastards win. Emma looked at them, at their faces, at the guilt written there. I'm not mad at you, she said. You should be. Maybe, but I'm not. You were scared. I get it. Fear makes people do stupid things, or not do smart things. That's generous, Kowalski said. That's realistic. Emma stood. But if this happens again, if someone else reports something and you stay quiet, then I will be mad. Won't happen again, Chen said. I promise. Good. Morrison dismissed them. They left. The door closed. What about Martinez? Emma asked. What about her? She was assaulted. Transferred. No justice, no consequences. Just gone. I'm working on that. Work faster. Morrison's eyebrows rose. Excuse me. Sir, with respect, Martinez deserves better. She deserves to know that Wade's in custody, that Brooks is being relieved, that something actually happened. I'll contact her unit. I want to contact her myself. That's not... I'm the reason she was alone. I reported Wade. He got cleared. She got punished. I owe her. Morrison considered. Fine. You can call her, but make it brief. And don't promise things I can't deliver. Thank you, sir. Don't thank me yet. We're not done. Morrison pulled out another file, thicker than the first two. There's been interest. Interest. In you. In Phantom. In what happened today. He opened the file. I've got 3 requests for you already. MARSOC wants you for training. 2nd Recon wants you back. And Pentagon Public Affairs wants you for a medal ceremony. No. Which one? All of them. That's not, I don't want to be a poster girl. I don't want to train people. I don't want medals. I just want to do my job. Your job is whatever the Corps needs it to be. My job is keeping Marines alive. Then accept the training position. Teach other medics how to fight, how to survive, how to turn a broken rifle into a weapon. Emma shook her head. That's not teachable. Bullshit. Everything's teachable. You just don't want to teach it. Because I don't want people thinking they can do what I did. What I did was stupid, reckless. I got lucky. You got skilled. There's a difference. Luck, skill, doesn't matter. I'm not teaching people to charge up a hill with a pistol. Morrison smiled. Actual smile. Fair enough. But you're teaching something. The Corps is creating a new protocol based on today. The Reyes protocol. Makeshift weapons, improvised equipment, survival tactics. That's ridiculous. That's happening. You can either help shape it or watch from the sidelines while someone else messes it up. Emma wanted to argue, but he had a point. Fine, I'll consult. But I'm not going to ceremonies. I'm not doing interviews. I'm not being phantom for the cameras. Deal. Morrison closed the file. Now get out of here. Get cleaned up. Get some food. And then report to medical for evaluation. I'm fine. That's not optional. You were in combat. You climbed a ridge under fire. You need to be checked. Emma stood, saluted, turned to leave. Gunnery Sergeant, she stopped. Sir. Welcome back. Emma didn't respond, just walked out. The hallway was empty. The chanting had stopped. The Marines had dispersed. She made it 3 steps before her legs gave out. She caught herself against the wall, breathing hard, shaking. The adrenaline was wearing off. The reality was setting in. 7 people dead, 8 if you counted Jenkins. Torres was critical. 2 others wounded, and she'd killed 7 more. 7 insurgents who'd tried to kill her squad. 14 bodies in one day. Emma slid down the wall, sat on the floor, put her head in her hands. She'd spent 7 years trying to forget Ramadi, trying to forget the killing, the blood, the screaming. Now it was all back. Fresh, raw, real. You good? Emma looked up. Chen was standing there, 2 bottles of water in his hands. I'm fine. You don't look fine. He sat down beside her, handed her a bottle. Drink. Emma drank. The water was cold, tasted like plastic and chemicals. She didn't care. I lied earlier, Chen said. About what? About 47 days. It's actually 46 now, but I'm thinking I might extend. Why would you do that? Because today I watched someone do something I've never seen before, and I'm thinking maybe I want to learn how. Don't. Don't what? Don't try to be like me. Don't think what I did was heroic or smart or something to copy. Why not? Because I'm broken, Chen. I've been broken for 7 years, and today didn't fix me. It just reminded me how broken I am. Chen was quiet, drank his water. You know what I think? What? I think you're not as broken as you think. I think you're just human, and humans break. But they also heal. That's optimistic. Yeah, well, I'm a naturally optimistic guy. Chen stood, offered his hand. Come on, medical's waiting. And if we're late, Morrison will have both our asses. Emma took his hand, let him pull her up. They walked to medical together, neither one talking, just walking. The medical tent was busy, wounded from the convoy, wounded from other patrols. The normal chaos of a combat zone. A doctor Emma didn't know examined her, checked her vitals, asked questions about injuries and pain and mental state. Emma lied through most of it. You're cleared, the doctor said finally, but I want you back in 48 hours for follow-up. Fine. Emma left, walked toward the barracks. Her legs felt heavy. Her head felt heavier. She opened the door to her quarters. Small room, single bunk, locker, desk. Nothing personal, nothing that couldn't fit in a duffel bag. She'd learned that lesson in Ramadi. Don't get attached. Don't collect things. Don't make a home, because homes get destroyed. Emma stripped off her uniform. Blood and dirt and sweat fell away. She stood under the shower for 20 minutes. Let the water run cold. Let it wash away the day. But it didn't wash away the memories. 7 insurgents. 7 shots. 7 bodies falling. Just like Ramadi. Except in Ramadi it was 40, not 7. 40 people she'd killed to stay alive. 40 people who were trying to kill her. But still, 40 people. She turned off the water, dried off, put on clean clothes. Someone knocked on the door. Emma opened it. A private she didn't know stood there, young, nervous, female. "Ma'am, Colonel Morrison wants to see you again." "When? Now, ma'am?" Emma followed her back to Morrison's office. The sun was setting. The base was quieter now. Morrison was on the phone when she entered. He gestured for her to sit. "Yes, sir. I understand. She's here now, I'll tell her." He hung up, looked at Emma. That was the base commander, General Hayes. And he wants to meet you. Tomorrow. 0800. Why? Because you're famous. Because what you did is going to be in every military publication from here to Washington. Because the Corps loves a good story. I don't want to be a story. Then you shouldn't have been so damn impressive. Morrison pulled out another file. There's something else. What? Wade talked. Emma leaned forward. What did he say? He said Brooks ordered him to give you the broken rifle. Said Brooks told him it was a test, to see how you'd react, to see if you'd report it or shut up and soldier. That's a lie. Maybe, maybe not. Wade's lawyer's already building a defense, claiming he was following orders, claiming he's the fall guy. He is the fall guy, but he's also guilty. Agreed, but proving it is harder than you think. Brooks is denying everything, says Wade acted alone, says he didn't know about the sabotage. He knew, I told him directly. Your word against his. Without evidence, it's a wash. Emma's fists clenched. So they both walk. I didn't say that. Wade's going down for sure. Sabotage. Attempted murder. He'll do time. Brooks is different. He'll be relieved of command. Probably forced to retire. But criminal charges unlikely. That's not justice. That's military justice. It's not the same thing. Emma stood. Then I'm done. With all of it. With the Corps. With this. Sit down, Gunnery Sergeant. No. Morrison's voice hardened. That's an order. Emma sat. You're angry. I get it. But walking away doesn't solve anything. It just means Wade and Brooks win. Again. They're already winning. No, they're losing. Wade's in a cell. Brooks's career is over. And you're a hero. Marines are lining up to serve with you. Women on this base are reporting assaults they've kept quiet for years. Because you stood up. Because you fought back. That's not my responsibility. Yes, it is. Whether you like it or not, you're a symbol now. People are watching, waiting to see what you do next. What I do next is quit. You can't. Watch me. Morrison pulled out one more paper, handed it to her. Read this. Emma took it. It was a letter. Handwritten. The handwriting was shaky, uncertain. Dear Gunnery Sergeant Reyes, my name is Private Martinez. You probably don't remember me, but I remember you. You saved my life 3 months ago. Not from insurgents, from Sergeant Wade. I never thanked you. I was too scared, too ashamed. But I want you to know that what you did mattered. It gave me the courage to report what happened, to fight back, to not let him win. I heard what happened today. I heard that you fought with a broken rifle, that you saved your squad, that you're Phantom. And I want you to know that you're my hero. Not because you killed 7 insurgents, but because 7 years ago, and 3 months ago, and today, you stood up when everyone else stayed quiet. Thank you. Respectfully, PFC Martinez. Emma's hands were shaking. Where did you get this? She mailed it. 2 hours ago. Fastest letter I've ever seen processed. Morrison's voice was soft, gentle. You think quitting helps her? You think disappearing again helps anyone? Emma couldn't speak. You're angry at the system, at the Corps, at the people who failed you. I get it. But the system doesn't change because good people quit. It changes because good people stay and fight. I'm tired of fighting. I know, but you're the only one who can win this fight, because you're Phantom. And Phantom doesn't quit. Emma set down the letter. What do you want from me? I want you to stay. I want you to teach. I want you to be the Marine you were always supposed to be. And if I say no, then you say no, and I respect that. But you'll spend the rest of your life wondering if you could have made a difference. Emma closed her eyes, thought about Martinez, about Torres, about Chen and Kowalski and every other Marine who'd stood silent when they should have spoken. Thought about the 7 names tattooed on her shoulder. 7 Marines who died because she couldn't save them. Fine, she said. I'll stay, for now. That's all I'm asking. Emma stood, saluted, left. Outside the base was dark. Stars were visible. Cold air was moving in. She walked to the memorial wall. 23 names carved in stone. Marines who died on this deployment. She found Jenkins's name. Fresh. Just added. I'm sorry, she whispered. I should have been faster. Behind her footsteps. Emma turned. Kowalski stood there, hands in pockets. Couldn't sleep. Me neither. You come here often. Sometimes, when I need to remember. Remember what? Why I'm here. Why I stay. Emma touched Jenkins's name. He was 19, had a kid back home, 3 months old, never met her. I know. He showed me pictures, every day, same pictures. They stood in silence, looking at the names, at the proof that war takes everyone eventually. You really Phantom? Kowalski asked. I used to be. What changed, Ramadi. 7 Marines died. I didn't. Sometimes I think I should have. Don't. Kowalski's voice was firm. Don't do that. Don't survivor guilt yourself into believing you should be dead. You're alive for a reason. What reason? To keep the rest of us alive. To teach us. To show us how to survive. Kowalski looked at her. Today you saved 6 lives. Maybe 7, if Torres makes it. That's 7 people who get to go home. 7 families who don't get a visit from casualty notification. And Jenkins was already gone when the RPG hit. Nothing you could do. I could have been faster. You were fast enough. Any faster and you'd be dead too. And then we'd all be dead. Kowalski put a hand on her shoulder. You did good today, Phantom. Real good. Don't let guilt tell you different. Emma nodded. Couldn't trust her voice. Kowalski left. Emma stayed, looking at the names, at Jenkins, at the reminder that tomorrow could always be worse. She walked back to her quarters. The letter from Martinez was tucked in her pocket. She read it again, and again, and again. By the time she fell asleep, the sun was coming up. And for the first time in 7 years, Emma Reyes didn't dream about Ramadi. She dreamed about tomorrow. The dream ended at 06:30. Emma's eyes opened. The ceiling was the same. The room was the same. But something felt different. She got dressed. Clean uniform. No blood. No sand. The tattoo on her shoulder was visible in the mirror. She'd stopped hiding it. Someone knocked. Emma opened the door. Chen stood there with 2 cups of coffee. Figured you'd need this. Thanks. Big day today. Every day's a big day. Yeah, but today the general wants to see you. That's bigger than normal big. Emma took the coffee, drank it, too hot, didn't care. What time? 0800, 20 minutes. Chen leaned against the doorframe. You nervous? Should I be? I would be. Generals make me nervous. Everything makes you nervous. Fair point, Chen smiled. You ready for this, the ceremony, the reinstatement, the whole Phantom thing? No. Good, means you're human. Chen straightened. Come on, let's go get you famous. They walked across the base together. Marines stopped what they were doing, stared. Some saluted, some just nodded. A few whispered, Phantom, as she passed. Emma ignored them all. The command building was busier than usual. Officers everywhere, dress uniforms, medals. the smell of fresh coffee and nervous sweat. Colonel Morrison met them at the entrance, right on time. "Sir, General Hayes is inside, full staff, media personnel. This is going to be recorded. I know what you want, but this isn't about what you want. This is about what the Corps needs." Morrison's voice was firm, but not unkind. "Just get through the next hour, then you can go back to being invisible." "I was never invisible." "No, you just pretended to be." The general's office was packed. 20 officers, 3 cameras, 2 reporters with notepads. Emma's stomach tightened. General Hayes stood behind his desk, 3 stars on his collar. Gray hair, hard eyes. He'd seen combat, real combat. You could tell. "Gunnery Sergeant Reyes, thank you for coming." Emma saluted. "Sir." "At ease." Hayes gestured to the assembled crowd. "I've gathered these people here today to witness something important. The reinstatement of one of the finest Marines this Corps has ever produced." Emma's jaw clenched. This was going to be worse than she thought. 7 years ago, Hayes continued, a young Force Recon Marine survived an ambush that killed her entire team. She fought alone for 2 hours, eliminated 40 hostile combatants, saved herself when no one else could. The Corps awarded her medals, called her a hero, and then she disappeared. The room was silent, everyone watching, waiting. "We failed her," Hayes said. Simple, direct. "We asked her to be strong, and when she needed us to be strong for her, we weren't. She asked questions we didn't want to answer. She demanded accountability we weren't ready to give, so she left, and we let her go." Emma's hands were shaking. She locked them behind her back. 3 days ago, that same Marine was handed a sabotaged weapon by a superior who wanted her dead. She was ordered into combat with a rifle that wouldn't fire, and instead of dying, she improvised. She fought. She saved 6 lives, and she reminded us all why the Marine Corps values honor, courage, and commitment. Hayes walked around the desk, stood directly in front of Emma. "Lance Corporal Emma Reyes no longer exists. That was a fiction, a hiding place, a lie we all helped perpetuate." He pulled out a set of new rank insignia, Gunnery Sergeant chevrons. "From this moment forward, you are Gunnery Sergeant Emma Reyes. Your records will reflect your true rank. Your pay will be adjusted. Your service history will be corrected, and anyone who has a problem with that can take it up with me personally." Hayes pinned the new rank on her collar. The metal felt heavy, real. "Furthermore," Hayes said, stepping back, "Sergeant Michael Wade has been convicted by court-martial of sabotage, attempted murder, and conduct unbecoming. He will serve 15 years in military prison. Captain Richard Brooks has been relieved of command and forced into early retirement. His pension has been reduced. His record will reflect a pattern of negligence and failure to protect personnel under his command." Emma's throat was tight. She couldn't speak. "This isn't justice," Hayes said quietly, meant only for her. "Justice would be bringing back the Marines who died because people like Wade and Brooks exist. But it's a start. It's accountability. And sometimes that has to be enough." He stepped back, raised his voice again. "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Gunnery Sergeant Emma Reyes, call sign Phantom, one of the finest warriors this Corps has ever produced, and one we're damn lucky to have back." The room erupted in applause. Emma stood there, frozen, not knowing what to do, what to say. Morrison appeared at her elbow. "Smile and nod. That's all you have to do." Emma smiled, nodded, felt like a fraud. The ceremony continued. Speeches, handshakes, photos. Emma went through the motions, mechanical, detached. When it was finally over, Hayes pulled her aside. "Walk with me." They left the building, walked toward the perimeter, away from everyone else. "You hate this," Hayes said. "Yes, sir." "Good. Means you're doing it for the right reasons." "What reasons?" "Not for glory, not for recognition, just because it's the job." Hayes stopped walking, turned to face her. "I read the Ramadi report, the real one, not the sanitized version." Emma's blood went cold. "That report is classified." I'm a 3-star general. Everything's declassified for me. Hayes's expression was grim. You were right about the ambush, about the setup, about someone wanting your team dead. Sir, I can't give you details. Not yet. But there's an ongoing investigation. Has been for 3 years. And your testimony from 7 years ago is part of it. Investigation into what? Into whether certain operations in Ramadi were legitimate combat missions or something else entirely. Emma's mind was racing. Something else like what? Like deliberate exposure of U.S. forces to hostile fire for the purposes of eliminating personnel. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Deadly. You're saying someone in the Corps was ordering hits on Marines, using insurgents as the weapon. Hayes didn't answer, didn't need to. Who? Emma asked. That's what the investigation is trying to determine, but it's not just Ramadi. There are 3 other incidents. Different locations, different units, same pattern. Small recon team, bad intel, perfect ambush, 1 survivor. How many dead? 21, plus your 7, 28 total. Emma felt like she'd been punched, and they're all connected. We believe so, but proving it is difficult. The surviving Marines from the other incidents have been difficult to locate. Difficult how? 1 transferred to a civilian contractor, disappeared. 1 was killed in a training accident 6 months after his team was ambushed. 1 checked himself into psychiatric care and refuses to talk to anyone. And the 4th, Hayes looked at her. You're the 4th. Emma's legs felt weak. Why are you telling me this? Because you have a right to know. Because you asked the right question 7 years ago and got punished for it. And because if we're going to find out who's responsible, we need survivors willing to testify. I already testified. 7 years ago. Nobody listened. We're listening now. Too late for the 28 dead Marines. Yes, it is. But not too late to prevent 29 through 50. Hayes handed her a card. Plain white. No markings. Just a phone number. If you want to help with the investigation, call this number. Ask for Sierra 7 Echo. They'll know who you are. And if I don't want to help, then you don't. No pressure. No consequences. You've done enough. More than enough. Emma took the card, stared at the number. What happens if we find out who did it? Then they go to prison. Or worse. Worse? Treason charges carry the death penalty. Emma folded the card, put it in her pocket. I'll think about it. That's all I ask. Hayes started walking back. One more thing. Sir, watch your back. The people responsible for Ramadi aren't going to be happy that you survived a second time. They failed once. They'll try again. Let them try, Hayes smiled, grim. That's the spirit. Dismissed, Gunnery Sergeant. Emma walked back to her quarters. Her mind was spinning. 28 Marines. 4 teams. 1 pattern. Someone was killing Marines. Deliberately. Systematically. And they'd tried to kill her twice. Chen was waiting outside her door. How'd it go? Fine. That's the worst fine I've ever heard. What happened? Nothing. Just ceremony stuff. Emma unlocked her door. I need to be alone for a while. Sure, but, there's someone here to see you. Who? Chen gestured down the hallway. A woman stood there, small, dark hair, nervous eyes. Martinez. Emma's breath caught. What's she doing here? She asked to see you. Flew in this morning. I told her you were busy, but she said she'd wait. Martinez walked toward them. Each step looked painful, like it took everything she had. Gunnery Sergeant Reyes. Martinez, you didn't have to come all this way. Yes, I did. Martinez's voice was quiet but steady. I needed to thank you. In person. You sent a letter. That was enough. No, it wasn't. Martinez looked at Chen. Could we talk alone? Chen nodded, walked away. Emma opened her door. Come in. Martinez entered, looked around, at the bare walls, the empty room. This is where you live. I don't need much. That's sad. That's practical. Martinez sat on the edge of the bunk, hands folded in her lap. I heard what happened. The ambush, the broken rifle, everything. It's over now. Is it? Martinez looked up. Because I heard Wade got 15 years. Brooks got forced out. And you got reinstated. That's right. So, justice happened. Some version of it. That's more than I thought possible. Martinez's voice cracked. 3 months ago, I reported what Wade did. You backed me up. And nothing happened. He walked. I got transferred. You got... whatever happened to you. I survived. Barely. Martinez wiped her eyes. I blamed you. For a while. Thought if you hadn't said anything, if you'd just stayed quiet, maybe it would have been better. Maybe it would have been. No, it wouldn't have. Martinez stood. Because then Wade would still be out there, still hurting people, still getting away with it, and you'd still be pretending to be a Lance Corporal. I wasn't pretending, I was surviving. By disappearing. By becoming invisible. Martinez's voice was stronger now. But that's not surviving, that's just dying slowly. Emma didn't respond. I came here to tell you something, Martinez continued. When I heard what you did, when I heard that Phantom was real and that she saved her squad with a broken rifle, I made a decision. I'm not disappearing. I'm not becoming invisible. I'm staying. And I'm fighting, just like you. That's dangerous. So is staying quiet. People who fight back get hurt. People who stay quiet get hurt anyway. At least if I fight, I go down swinging. Martinez moved toward the door, stopped. Thank you, Gunnery Sergeant, for standing up, for reporting Wade, for saving your squad, for showing me that it's possible to survive and still be yourself. Martinez left. Emma sat on the bunk, stared at the wall. Martinez was right. Staying quiet didn't protect anyone. It just let the bastards win. Emma pulled out the card Hayes had given her, stared at the number. Sierra 7 Echo. She could call, could help with the investigation, could finally get answers about Ramadi. Or she could stay quiet, stay invisible, let someone else fight that battle. Her fingers traced the tattoo on her shoulder. 7 names. 7 Marines who died because someone wanted them dead. Emma picked up her phone, dialed the number. It rang twice. Sierra 7 Echo. Identify. Gunnery Sergeant Emma Reyes. Call sign Phantom. Silence. Then, we've been waiting for your call. Who is this? Someone who wants the same thing you do. Truth, justice, accountability. That's a lot of big words for a phone call. They're the right words. Are you in? I don't even know what I'm in for. A chance to find out who killed your team. A chance to stop them from killing anyone else. A chance to finish what you started 7 years ago. Emma closed her eyes. What do you need from me? Right now, just your willingness to participate. We'll contact you again when we have more information. Until then, be careful. You've drawn attention. Not all of it is good. I can handle myself. We know. We've seen your file. Both of them. The voice paused. Stay safe, Phantom. We'll be in touch. The line went dead. Emma set down the phone. Her heart was pounding. She'd spent 7 years hiding, running, trying to forget. Now she was walking straight back into it. 3 weeks passed. Life returned to something resembling normal. Emma taught classes on improvised weapons, trained medics on combat scenarios, avoided crowds and cameras and anyone who wanted to talk about what happened. Chen extended his deployment. Told you I might, he said. Can't leave now, not when things are getting interesting. Kowalski got promoted to Master Sergeant. About damn time, he said. 20 years and finally they recognized talent. Torres survived. Lost feeling in his legs, but survived. Better than the alternative, he told Emma when she visited him. Thanks to you. Jenkins was buried with full honors. His daughter got his flag. Emma stood at the funeral and said nothing. There was nothing to say. Wade's court-martial was all over military news. 15 years. Dishonorable discharge. The works. He'd appealed. Nobody cared. Brooks disappeared. Early retirement. No fanfare. No goodbye. Just gone. And Emma waited. For the call. For more information. For something. It came at 02:30 on a Thursday. Emma's phone rang. Unknown number. Reyes. Sierra 7 Echo. We need to meet. When? Now. Building 7. North side. Come alone. The line went dead. Emma dressed quickly. No uniform. Civilian clothes, dark colors. She slipped out of her quarters. The base was quiet. Most people asleep. A few sentries on patrol. She avoided them. Building 7 was a storage facility, officially decommissioned, unofficially used for things the Corps didn't want to talk about. The north side door was unlocked. Emma went inside. Dark, empty, smelled like dust and old concrete. Close the door. Emma closed it. Her eyes adjusted. A figure stood in the shadows. Male, tall, military bearing. You're Sierra 7 Echo. One of them. There are 3 of us. He stepped forward. Enough light to see his face. Mid-40s, scarred, hard. Major Thomas Garrett, Marine Corps Criminal Investigation Division. CID. This is a criminal investigation. Has been for 3 years since the second incident. The second recon team. Correct. First one in Ramadi could have been bad luck. Second one started to look like a pattern. Third one confirmed it. Fourth one, yours proved it. Emma crossed her arms. What do you want from me? Information, names, dates. Anyone who was involved in planning your mission in Ramadi. Anyone who had access to your patrol routes. Anyone who might have had motive to want your team dead. That's a long list. Then we'll go through it, one name at a time. Why now? Why not 3 years ago? Why not 7 years ago? Garrett's jaw tightened. Because 3 years ago we didn't have enough evidence. 7 years ago we didn't even know there was a pattern. We do now. Because I survived a second time. Yes, you surviving the Canal Road ambush raised flags. Too many coincidences. Too many similarities to Ramadi. So we dug deeper. And we found connections. What kind of connections? Garrett pulled out a folder, opened it. Photos, documents, names, and dates and locations. Every mission that ended in an ambush had 3 things in common. 1 small recon team, 6 to 8 Marines, 2 bad intelligence. Always wrong. Always fatally wrong. 3 same operations officer approving the mission. Emma's blood went cold. Who? Garrett showed her a photo. A man in uniform. Colonel's rank, gray hair, cold eyes. Colonel Marcus Vance, currently stationed at Camp Lejeune, Personnel Division. Personnel Division? He's not operations anymore. No, he was transferred 3 years ago. Right around the time the second incident happened. Convenient timing. Emma stared at the photo. You think he ordered the ambushes? We think he facilitated them. Approved missions he knew were death traps. Made sure the right teams got sent. Made sure support was delayed or unavailable. Made sure only 1 or 2 Marines survived. Why? That's what we're trying to figure out. Money, ideology, blackmail. We don't know yet, but we know he's connected, and we know he's dirty. Emma took the photo, studied it, memorized every detail. How do I fit into this? You're a witness. You were there. You survived. You can testify about what happened in Ramadi, about the mission briefing, about the intelligence you received, about the support that never came. I already testified 7 years ago. And your testimony was buried, classified, locked away. We need you to testify again, officially, in a court-martial, against a colonel, against whoever's responsible. Vance is just the start. We think he was working with others, maybe civilians, maybe contractors. We're still investigating. Emma handed back the photo. When do you need me? Soon. We're building the case now. Should be ready in 6 to 8 weeks. And until then, you stay quiet. Don't talk about this. Don't mention Vance's name. Don't do anything that might tip him off. He already knows I survived, twice. Yes, which means he's watching you. Be careful. Garrett moved toward the door, stopped. There's something else. What? The other survivors. The ones from the other teams. They've all been contacted. All 3 of them. Contacted by who? We don't know, but they all received the same message. Remember what happened. Stay quiet. Or it'll happen again. Threats. Yes, and 2 of them took those threats seriously. 1 disappeared. 1 stopped talking. The 3rd one ended up dead. Training accident. That's what the report says. But we have doubts. Garrett opened the door. Light spilled in. Watch yourself, Phantom. You're the last survivor still willing to talk. That makes you valuable. It also makes you a target. He left. Emma stood in the darkness, alone. 28 dead Marines. 4 teams. 1 pattern. 1 man facilitating it all. Colonel Marcus Vance. Emma pulled out her phone, searched for his name, found his official biography. Awards, commendations, 30 years of service, and not a single blemish on his record. She kept scrolling, found a photo of him receiving an award, standing next to a civilian, both smiling. The civilian looked familiar. Emma zoomed in, enhanced the image. Her breath stopped. She knew that face. She'd seen him before, in Ramadi, right before her team deployed. He'd been in the operations tent, talking to someone, looking at maps. She'd assumed he was a contractor, intel liaison, something normal. But seeing him now standing next to Vance, smiling like they were old friends, that wasn't normal. That was something else. Emma screenshotted the image, sent it to Garrett with a message. Who is this? The response came back in seconds. Don't know. Searching now. Emma stared at the photo, at Vance, at the civilian, at the proof that this went deeper than one dirty colonel. Her phone buzzed. New message. Unknown number. You're asking dangerous questions, Phantom. Stop while you still can. Emma deleted the message, blocked the number. 5 seconds later, another message. Different number. Ramadi wasn't an accident. Neither was the canal road. The pattern continues. Stop investigating, or you'll be next. Emma's hands tightened on the phone. She should be scared, should back off, should stay quiet like the other survivors. But fear had stopped working on her 7 years ago. She typed back, "Come and try." No response. Emma walked back to her quarters. The base was still quiet, still dark. But something felt different. Wrong. Like she was being watched. She scanned the area, saw nothing. But the feeling didn't go away. Inside her quarters, Emma locked the door, pushed her locker against it, extra security. She pulled out a metal lockbox from under her bunk. Inside was something she hadn't touched in 7 years. A coin. Challenge coin. Silver. Engraved with 3 words, silent, swift, sure. On the reverse side, a ghost. Stylized. Fading. And below it, a serial number. Alpha 773. Emma turned the coin over in her fingers. This coin didn't come from any official unit. It came from a unit that didn't officially exist. A unit that operated in shadows. That took missions no one else would. That did things the Corps couldn't acknowledge. A unit Emma had been part of before Ramadi. Before everything fell apart. Task Force Phantom. Designation Alpha 773. 7 Marines. Hand-picked. Elite. Sent on missions that didn't appear in any official records. 7 Marines who all died in Ramadi, except 1. Emma had buried this coin with her past, had sworn never to think about it again. But now holding it, she realized something. Ramadi wasn't just a random ambush. It was a targeted hit, against a unit that wasn't supposed to exist, by people who wanted to make sure it never existed again. And she was the only one left who knew the truth. Her phone buzzed. Garrett. Found the civilian. Name is David Kessler, defense contractor, works for Titan Global Solutions. No official connection to Vance, but multiple unofficial sightings together. Investigating further. Emma replied, Kessler was in Ramadi, day before my team deployed. Saw him in the operations tent. Long pause. Then, that's new information. Critical. We need to meet again. Tomorrow. Same place. 0300. Emma set down her phone. Looked at the coin. At the proof she'd been part of something bigger. Something dangerous. Something that got her team killed. Outside her window, a shadow moved. Quick. Professional. Emma was on her feet in seconds. Weapon drawn. Sidearm she kept loaded under her pillow. She moved to the window. Looked out. Saw nothing. But the shadow had been real. She wasn't imagining it. Someone was watching her. Following her. Waiting. Emma stepped away from the window. Sat on her bunk. Kept the weapon in her lap. The hunt for truth had begun, and she was the prey. But Emma Reyes had been prey before. In Ramadi. When 40 insurgents tried to kill her and failed. She'd survived then. She'd survive now. Because Phantom didn't die easy. And this time she wasn't fighting alone. Emma didn't sleep. Couldn't. She sat on her bunk with the pistol in her lap and the challenge coin in her hand, watching the door, listening to every sound. At 0245, she heard footsteps outside. Slow. Deliberate. Stopping at her door. Emma raised the weapon. Finger on the trigger. Breathing controlled. The footsteps moved on. Faded away. She waited 5 more minutes, then got dressed. Dark clothes, body armor under her jacket, extra magazine in her pocket. At 0255, she slipped out. The base was dead quiet. No moon, just stars and shadows. Building 7 was 300 meters away. Emma took a route that kept her away from streetlights, away from predictable paths. She'd learned that in Ramadi. Predictable got you killed. Halfway there, she heard it. Footsteps behind her, matching her pace, staying back. Emma kept walking, didn't look back, didn't change speed. The footsteps continued. She turned left. The footsteps followed. She turned right, still following. Emma's hand moved to her weapon. She was being tailed. Professional tail. Someone who knew what they were doing. She ducked behind a storage container. Waited. Counted to 10. The footsteps approached. Closer. Closer. Emma stepped out. Weapon raised. Don't move. Chen froze. Hands up. Whoa, whoa, it's me. What the hell are you doing? Following you. What does it look like? Emma lowered the weapon. I told you to stay out of this. You didn't tell me anything. You've been acting weird for 3 weeks. Sneaking out at night. Staring at your phone, jumping at shadows. Chen dropped his hands. So yeah, I followed you, because that's what friends do. We're not friends. Bullshit. I extended my deployment because of you. That makes us friends whether you like it or not. Emma holstered her weapon. You need to go back. Where are you going? Meeting someone. At 0300 in a decommissioned building, that sounds super safe and not at all suspicious. Chen, I'm coming with you. No. Yes, Chen's voice was firm. You got handed a broken rifle and almost died. Then you got threatened. Now you're sneaking around in the middle of the night. Something's wrong, and I'm not letting you walk into it alone. Emma wanted to argue, but Chen had a point, and backup wasn't a bad idea. Fine, but stay behind me, and if shooting starts, you run. If shooting starts, we both run. Deal. They reached Building 7. The door was still unlocked. Emma went in first. Chen followed. Garrett was already there, but he wasn't alone. 2 other people stood with him. A woman in civilian clothes, sharp eyes, military bearing, and a man in uniform, captain's rank. Emma didn't recognize him. Garrett saw Chen. Who's this but Corporal Chen, my backup? I said come alone. Plans change. Emma crossed her arms. You going to shoot me for bringing insurance? Garrett looked at Chen, at Emma, made a decision. Fine, but he signs an NDA, right now. The woman pulled out papers. Chen read them. Signed. What did I just agree to? Not to talk about anything you hear in this room, ever, to anyone, under penalty of court-martial. The woman's voice was cold, professional. I'm Special Agent Rachel Monroe, CID. If you violate that agreement, I will personally destroy your career. Got it. Keep mouth shut. Chen looked at Emma, feeling safer already. The captain stepped forward. Captain James Reeves, JAG Corps. I'm here to advise on legal aspects of this investigation. Legal aspects? Emma asked. I thought this was a criminal investigation. It is, Garrett said. But we're also building a court-martial case against a colonel. That requires lawyers. And agents, Monroe added. And witnesses. And evidence. Lots of evidence. Garrett pulled out the folder again. More photos. More documents. We've been digging into Vance's background. Found some interesting things. Like what? Like offshore accounts. 3 of them. Total balance, $2.7 million. Emma whistled. That's a lot of money for a colonel. That's a lot of money for anyone. And the deposit started 8 years ago, right around the time the first suspicious ambush occurred. So he's being paid, Chen said. By who? That's where it gets complicated. Monroe took over. The accounts are routed through shell companies, multiple layers, offshore jurisdictions, very professional laundering. We've been trying to trace the source for 3 months. And we hit a wall. The last layer leads to a defense contractor, Titan Global Solutions. Kessler's company, Emma said. Correct, but Titan Global is massive, thousands of employees, contracts with DoD, CIA, State Department. Finding proof that Kessler specifically authorized payments to Vance is nearly impossible. So we're stuck. Not necessarily, Reeves spoke up. We have Vance's financial records. We have proof of payments. We have your testimony about Ramadi. And we have the pattern of 4 ambushes with the same characteristics. That's enough to bring charges. But not enough to convict, Emma said. No. For conviction, we need more. We need communications, emails, phone records, proof of direct coordination between Vance and whoever hired him. How do we get that? Garrett and Monroe exchanged looks. Uncomfortable looks. We need someone to get close to Vance, Garrett said finally. Someone he doesn't know is investigating him. Someone who can gain his trust. Emma's stomach dropped. You want me to approach him? Not you. He knows you survived. He's watching you. Monroe pulled out another photo. Kessler again. But this time he wasn't alone. He was with Vance. And they were with a third person. A woman. Blonde. Expensive clothes. Hard to see her face. Who's that? Chen asked. We don't know. But she's appeared in 6 different photos with Vance and Kessler over the past 3 years. Always at high-end events. Always off the record. We think she's the money behind this. The one paying Vance. Possibly. Or she's a liaison. Or she's running the whole operation. We don't know. But we need to find out who she is. Emma studied the photo. Something about the woman was familiar. The way she stood. The way she held herself. Run facial recognition, Emma said. We did. No matches. She's not military, not government, not in any database we have access to. Then how do we find her? Monroe smiled. Thin smile. Dangerous. We don't find her. We make her come to us. How? By making noise. By letting Vance know that you're still digging. That you're not backing off. That you're a threat. Emma's eyes narrowed. You want to use me as bait. We want to draw them out, make them react, make them make mistakes. Mistakes that could get me killed. That's why we'll have protection. Round-the-clock surveillance. Agents watching you, listening devices. The works. So I'm bait with a safety net. Essentially, yes. Chen stepped forward. This is insane. You're asking her to paint a target on her back. The target's already there, Monroe said. We're just making it visible, controlled, manageable. Nothing about this is manageable, Chen shot back. She's already been threatened, already had someone following her. Now you want to make it worse? We want to catch the people responsible for killing 28 Marines. Sometimes that requires risk. Risk for who? You're not the one being hunted. Corporal Chen. Reeves's voice was calm but firm. We understand your concern, but this is Gunnery Sergeant Reyes's decision, not yours. Everyone looked at Emma, waiting. Emma looked at the photos, at Vance, at Kessler, at the mystery woman, at the proof that her team had been murdered by people who were still free, still operating, still killing. What do you need me to do? She asked. Chen grabbed her arm. Emma, don't. I have to. No, you don't. You don't owe them anything. You've done enough. I owe my team. I owe the 7 Marines who died because I couldn't save them. Emma pulled her arm free. I'm doing this. Garrett nodded. Good. Here's the plan. Tomorrow you're going to file a formal complaint with the Inspector General, accusing Vance of misconduct, requesting an investigation into the Ramadi mission. That'll get his attention. That's the point. He'll react, probably contact you, try to intimidate you, maybe threaten you directly. And then we record everything, build a case, prove he's obstructing justice. That gives us leverage to flip him, make him give up whoever's paying him. You think he'll flip? 15 years for obstruction versus life for treason and murder? Yeah, I think he'll flip. Monroe handed Emma a small device. Looked like a pen. Recording device. Voice activated. Range of 30 feet. Keep it on you at all times. And if things go wrong, if Vance doesn't just threaten me, if he tries something more direct, then we intervene. You'll have protection, close protection, agents within visual range at all times. Except when I'm alone, like right now. You're not alone right now. 3 agents are positioned outside this building. 2 more are monitoring the perimeter. You've been protected since you left your quarters. Emma glanced at Chen. That's why you were following me. You noticed them. No, I noticed you acting weird. Didn't see any agents. That means they're good at their job, Monroe said. Emma pocketed the recording device. When do we start? Tomorrow, 0900, IG's office. We'll have your complaint ready. You just need to sign it and submit it. And then we wait. And then we wait. The meeting broke up. Monroe and Reeves left first. Garrett stayed behind. One more thing, he said. The coin you have. The challenge coin from Task Force Phantom. Emma's hand moved instinctively to her pocket. How do you know about that? Because I used to be in CID 7 years ago. I was assigned to investigate Ramadi, and I found evidence that your team wasn't just Force Recon. You were something else. Something that didn't officially exist. I can't talk about that. I'm not asking you to. I'm telling you that if Task Force Phantom was real, and if it was doing what I think it was doing, then the people who wanted you dead 7 years ago are the same people who want you dead now. Why? Because Phantom knew things, saw things, did things that certain people wanted buried, and as long as you're alive, those secrets aren't buried. Emma's throat was tight. What kind of things? The kind that end careers, topple governments, get people executed for treason. Garrett moved toward the door. Watch yourself, Phantom. You're not just hunting conspirators. You're threatening an entire network. He left. Chen turned to Emma. Task Force Phantom. What the hell is he talking about? Nothing. That didn't sound like nothing. Chen, drop it. No, you just signed up to be bait for a murder conspiracy. I deserve to know what I'm protecting you from. Emma was quiet for a long time. Then, you know how I told you I was Force Recon? Yeah. That was half true. I was Recon. But I was also part of a special task force. Black Ops. Missions that don't appear in any records. 7 Marines, handpicked. We did things that needed doing but couldn't be acknowledged. What kind of things? The kind that make enemies. The kind that get people killed. Emma pulled out the coin, showed it to him. This was my unit identifier. Alpha 773. Task Force Phantom. Chen stared at the coin. And Ramadi was the end. Someone found out about us, sent us into a trap, killed my team, almost killed me. Holy shit. Yeah. And now they're trying again. Yeah. Chen was quiet, processing. Okay, so we're dealing with people who kill special ops teams, people with access to military intelligence, people with millions of dollars and no conscience. That's about right. Great. This keeps getting better. Chen looked at her. You sure you want to do this? No, but I'm doing it anyway. Then I'm staying close, really close, like annoying little brother close. I don't need a babysitter. Too bad. You got one. Chen headed for the door. Come on, let's get out of here before your invisible bodyguards think we're suspicious. They left Building 7, walked back toward the barracks. The base was still dark, still quiet. You see them? Emma asked. See who? The agents. The protection Monroe mentioned. Chen scanned the area. No, but that doesn't mean they're not there. Or it means they were lying. Maybe. They were 50 meters from the barracks when Emma felt it. That sensation, the one from earlier, being watched. Chen. Yeah. Don't react, but I think we're being followed, not by agents. Chen didn't look back. Where? Behind us, staying in shadows, keeping distance. Same person from earlier. Don't know. Different feel. Emma's hand moved toward her weapon. When we get to the next corner, I'm going to double back. You keep walking. Draw them out. Bad plan. I should double back. You're not trained for this. Neither are you. Not for 7 years anyway. Muscle memory doesn't fade. Emma slowed down. 3, 2, 1. She spun around, weapon drawn, moving fast. The shadow was there, 20 meters back, moving toward them. Not running, not hiding, just walking. Confident. Stop, identify yourself. The shadow kept coming. Emma could see him now in the streetlight. Male, tall, civilian clothes, face obscured by a hood. I said stop. The man stopped, but his hands stayed in his pockets. Hands where I can see them. Gunnery Sergeant Reyes. The voice was distorted. Electronic modulator. You're making this harder than it needs to be. Who are you? Someone who's trying to save your life. By stalking me. By warning you. You're playing a game you don't understand. With people you can't beat. Walk away. Stay quiet. Live. That's not happening. Then you'll die. Just like your team in Ramadi. Just like Jenkins. Just like Martinez will if she doesn't shut up. Emma's blood went cold. Martinez is safe. She's not even here. She's at Fort Hood. Building 2D847. Room 219. Alone. Vulnerable. The man tilted his head. One phone call. That's all it takes. One phone call and she has an accident. Training mishap. Tragic. Unavoidable. You touch her and You'll what hunt me down, kill me. You can't even see my face. The man took a step forward. Here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow you're not going to the IG's office. You're not filing any complaints. You're not talking to any more CID agents. You're going to request a transfer somewhere far away. And you're going to forget everything you think you know. And if I don't, then people start dying. Martinez, Chen, Kowalski, Torres, everyone you care about, one by one, until you learn to keep your mouth shut. Chen stepped up beside Emma. You threatening my friend? I'm offering her a choice. Smart people take it. Smart people don't threaten Marines. The man laughed. Cold. Empty. Marines die all the time. IEDs, ambushes, friendly fire. Nobody asks questions. Nobody investigates. They just salute the flag and move on. Emma raised her weapon higher. Last chance. Remove the hood. Identify yourself. Or what you'll shoot me on a US. Military base. In front of witnesses, in front of cameras. The man gestured upward. Security cameras everywhere, recording everything. You shoot me, you go to Leavenworth, and everyone you love still dies. He was right. Cameras were everywhere. Emma shooting an unarmed civilian would end her career, possibly her freedom. Walk away, Phantom, while you still can. The man turned, started walking. Emma's finger tightened on the trigger, every instinct screaming to shoot, to end the threat, to stop him before he hurt anyone else. But Chen put a hand on her arm. Don't. He wants you to. That's the trap. Emma lowered the weapon, watched the man disappear into the shadows. We need to warn Martinez, Chen said. Emma was already dialing. The phone rang, and rang, and rang. Voicemail. Martinez, it's Reyes. Call me immediately. Don't leave your room. Don't talk to anyone you don't know. Call me. She hung up, dialed again. Still voicemail. She's not answering. Maybe she's asleep. At 03:30, Martinez doesn't sleep, not since Wade. Emma was moving, running toward the command building. We need to contact Fort Hood. Get someone to check on her. Chen ran with her. You think they'll really hurt her? These people killed 28 Marines. You think they'll hesitate to kill 29? They burst into the command building. The duty officer looked up, startled. I need to contact Fort Hood. Right now. Emergency. Ma'am, it's 03:30. I don't care what time it is. Get me Fort Hood. Now. The officer saw her face, made the call. This is Sergeant Willis, duty officer at Al Tamf. Need to relay an emergency message to Fort Hood. Building 2847, room 219. Occupant may be in danger. Static. Then a response. Roger that. Sending MP to that location now. Stand by. Emma grabbed the phone. This is Gunnery Sergeant Emma Reyes. The occupant is Private First Class Maria Martinez. She may be targeted for harm. Treat this as a credible threat. Understood, Gunnery Sergeant. MP is en route. ETA 3 minutes. Emma waited. Chen waited. The duty officer looked confused but stayed quiet. 3 minutes felt like 3 hours. The radio crackled. Al 10F, this is Fort Hood MP. We're at building 2847. Copy. What's your status? Checking room 299 now. Silence. Emma's heart was pounding. Al Tamf, we have contact with Private Martinez. She's safe. Confirms she received multiple threatening messages tonight. We're moving her to secure location. Emma exhaled. Thank God. Fort Hood, this is Gunnery Sergeant Reyes. Tell Martinez to call me when she's secure. Roger that, Gunnery Sergeant. The radio went quiet. Chen leaned against the wall. That was too close. Yeah. They knew exactly where she was. Room number, building number, everything. Which means they have access to military personnel records, which means someone inside is helping them. Or someone inside is them. Emma's phone buzzed. Garrett. I heard. Martinez is secure. But this changes things. Changes them how? They're not waiting for you to file the complaint. They're moving now, trying to intimidate you before we can build the case. It's not going to work. I know, but it means we need to accelerate the timeline. Tomorrow morning you file the complaint. Then we move you to protective custody, off base, secure location. I'm not hiding. You're not hiding. You're protecting yourself so you can testify. There's a difference. Emma wanted to argue, but he was right. If she died, the case died with her. Fine. Where ba? Safe house, 20 miles south, small team, Monroe and 2 other agents. You'll stay there until Vance makes his move. How long? However long it takes, days, weeks, could be months. I can't disappear for months. You won't disappear. You'll just be unavailable. Your squad will be told you're on special assignment. TDY, happens all the time. Emma looked at Chen. What about him? What about me? Chen asked. He knows about this. He's involved. If they come after me, they'll come after him. We can put him in protective custody too. Chen shook his head. No way. I'm not hiding in a safe house while you're out there as bait. Chen. No, I extended to watch your back. That's what I'm doing. You go, I go. Garrett's voice on the phone. Gunnery Sergeant, it's your call. But having Corporal Chen in the safe house might actually be beneficial. Extra security. Someone you trust. Someone who's not CID. Emma looked at Chen, at the stubborn set of his jaw, at the loyalty written on his face. Fine. He comes. Good. Be ready at 0700. After you file the complaint, a vehicle will pick you both up. Pack light, essential gear only. We don't know how long you'll be there. Roger that. Garrett hung up. Emma and Chen walked back to the barracks. The sun was starting to rise. The base was waking up. Marines heading to PT, to Chow, to another day. None of them knowing what was happening, what was coming. You good? Chen asked. No. Yeah, me neither. Chen stopped at his door. But we're doing this anyway. Yeah. For Martinez. For Martinez, and Jenkins, and the 7 from Ramadi, and everyone else who died because people like Vance exist. Chen nodded. See you at 0700. See you. Emma went to her quarters. Started packing. Didn't take much. She'd learned to live light, travel fast, leave nothing behind. The challenge coin sat on her bunk, proof of a unit that didn't exist, of a past she couldn't escape, of 7 names that would never fade. She picked it up, held it tight. I'm coming for them, for all of you, I promise. Outside, the base continued to wake. Inside, Emma Reyes prepared for war. Not the kind with bullets and bombs. The kind with lawyers and testimony and evidence. But war nonetheless. And this time, she wasn't fighting alone. At 0700, Emma and Chen stood outside the command building. A black SUV pulled up. Tinted windows. Government plates. Monroe got out. Ready. Ready. Good. Let's go make some people very nervous. They drove to the IG's office. Emma signed the complaint. Formal accusation against Colonel Marcus Vance, requesting full investigation into the Ramadi mission, alleging corruption, misconduct, and possible criminal conspiracy. The IG officer looked at the complaint, looked at Emma. You understand what you're doing? Yes. Accusing a colonel is serious business. There will be consequences. I'm counting on it. The officer signed the receipt. Complaint officially filed. Colonel Vance will be notified within 24 hours. Thank you. They left. Got back in the SUV. Monroe drove south, away from the base, away from safety, toward whatever came next. Emma looked back once, at the base, at the life she was leaving behind, at the Marines who didn't know she was gone. Then she turned forward, toward the hunt, toward justice, toward the truth that had been buried for 7 years. Phantom was coming back, not as a ghost, as a hunter, and the prey were about to learn what that meant. The safe house was a concrete box, no windows on the ground floor, reinforced doors, camera systems, 2 agents stationed outside, 1 inside monitoring equipment. Emma dropped her pack on the bunk. Chen took the one across from her. Monroe set up a laptop on the table. Vance will be notified in approximately 6 hours. We expect contact within 12. Contact how? Emma asked. Phone, email, maybe in person if he's stupid. Monroe pulled up surveillance feeds, multiple cameras, multiple angles of the safe house perimeter. We're monitoring everything, his phone, his email, his movements. The moment he reacts, we'll know. And then we see what he does. If he contacts you directly, we record it. If he sends someone else, we identify them. If he tries to run, we arrest him. Sounds simple. It never is. Monroe looked at Emma. You should rest. It's going to be a long wait. Emma shook her head. I don't rest well. Try anyway. When this breaks, it's going to break fast. You'll need to be sharp. Chen was already lying down. She's right. Get some sleep, Emma. I'll keep watch. You need sleep too. I'll sleep when you sleep. That's the deal. Emma wanted to argue but didn't have the energy. She lay down on the bunk, closed her eyes, didn't expect to sleep, but exhaustion won. She drifted off. The dream came immediately. Ramadi, always Ramadi. The explosion, the fire, the screaming. 7 faces she'd never forget. Corporal Jackson, 22, engaged, wedding planned for next summer. Sergeant Hayes, 30, 3 kids, coached Little League back home. Lance Corporal Martin, 19, first deployment, scared but trying not to show it. Private First Class Kim, 21, wanted to be a teacher after the Corps. Corporal Rodriguez, 24, 2 sisters who looked up to him. Sergeant First Class Thompson, 35, veteran, should have retired but extended one more time. Captain Walsh, 40, commander, father figure, the one who picked Emma for Task Force Phantom. 7 names, 7 faces, 7 voices she heard every night. Wake up. Emma's eyes opened. Monroe was standing over her, phone in hand. What time is it, 14:30. You slept 6 hours. Any contact? Yeah, 30 minutes ago. Monroe held up the phone. Email, from Vance, to you, routed through official channels, very careful, very controlled. Emma sat up. What's it say? Monroe handed her the phone. Emma read Gunnery Sergeant Reyes. I received notification of your complaint. I understand you have questions about the Ramadi operation. I would welcome the opportunity to discuss this with you directly. Perhaps we can resolve this matter without formal investigation. I will be at the Greenview Hotel in Damascus tonight at 2000 hours. Room 412. Come alone. We'll talk. Respectfully, Colonel Marcus Vance. Emma looked at Monroe. He wants to meet. In Syria. Off base. Alone. It's a trap. Obviously. So, you're not going. Emma smiled. Cold smile. I didn't say that. Chen was up now. You can't seriously be considering this. He's offering to talk, to explain. That's what we need. What we need is for you to not get killed. Chen grabbed the phone, read the email again. This is a setup. He's trying to get you alone, away from protection, so he can what, kill me? He could have done that on base, could have done it any time in the last 3 weeks. Maybe he was waiting for the right moment. Or maybe he actually wants to talk, to explain, to cut a deal before this goes public. Monroe shook her head. Even if he wants to talk, the meeting location is problematic. Syria, hostile territory, civilian hotel. We can't provide adequate protection. Then don't provide protection. Let me go alone. Absolutely not. He said alone. If I show up with agents, he'll bolt. We lose our chance. If you show up alone, you might not come back. Emma stood. I survived Ramadi alone. I survived the Canal Road alone. I can survive one meeting with a dirty colonel. Ramadi was 7 years ago. You're older now. Slower. I'm not slower. I'm smarter. Emma looked at the email again. Tonight at 2000 hours. That gives us 7 hours to prepare. Prepare how? We can't insert agents into a Syrian hotel on 7 hours notice. No, but you can put a tracker on me. Wire me for sound, and have backup staged close enough to respond if things go wrong. Monroe considered. This is against protocol. So is Ramadi. So is the Canal Road. So is everything I've done since I put on this uniform. You're asking me to sign off on an operation that could get you killed. I'm telling you I'm going, with or without your approval. Monroe was quiet, thinking, calculating. Reeves needs to sign off, and Garrett, and probably someone above them. Then call them. Monroe made the calls. 30 minutes of arguing. 30 minutes of Emma listening to one side of a conversation that kept circling back to too dangerous and unacceptable risk. Finally, Monroe hung up. They said yes, conditionally. What conditions? You wear a wire, you wear a tracker, you carry a panic button, and we have a tactical team staged 2 blocks away, armed, ready to breach on your signal. Done. And Chen goes with you. What? Chen looked shocked. I thought she had to go alone. She does, officially. But you'll be in the lobby, watching. If anything happens, you call it in immediately. Chen nodded. I can do that. Good. Because if she dies, you're going to wish you had. They spent the next 4 hours preparing. Monroe fitted Emma with a wire. Tiny microphone clipped inside her collar. Transmitter taped to her lower back. Tracker sewn into her boot. The wire has a range of 50 meters, Monroe said. Plenty for a hotel room. The tracker is GPS. We can follow you anywhere. And the panic button. She handed Emma a small device. Looked like a key fob. Red button. Press and hold for 2 seconds. Tactical team will breach within 90 seconds. 90 seconds is a long time. It's the best we can do. Any faster and they'd have to be in the building, which defeats the purpose of you going in alone. Emma pocketed the panic button. What if he sweeps me for wires? He probably will. The wire is good, but it's not perfect. If he finds it, you're compromised. Then I'll improvise. Improvising gets people killed. So does overthinking. Emma checked her weapon. Loaded, chambered, safety on. What time do we leave? 18:30. Gives you time to get there. Scout the location. Be in position before 2000. Chen was cleaning his rifle. Third time. Nervous energy. You really think he's going to confess, just tell you everything? No. But he might slip. Say something he shouldn't. Give us a thread to pull. And if he doesn't slip, if he's careful, then we push him. Make him uncomfortable. Make him react. That's a terrible plan. You have a better one. Chen didn't answer. At 18:30, they loaded into 2 vehicles. Emma and Chen in one, Monroe and 3 agents in the other. They drove north toward Damascus, 40 minutes through hostile territory. Every checkpoint was tense. Every scan was thorough. But Monroe had the credentials, the paperwork, the authority. They passed through. Damascus was chaos, traffic, crowds, noise. The war had moved on, but the scars remained. Buildings with bullet holes, rubble in the streets, children selling cigarettes on corners. The Greenview Hotel was nicer than expected. 6 stories, Western design. Probably catered to contractors and journalists, people with money who needed neutral ground. Emma and Chen went in first. Monroe's team staged 2 blocks away in a parking garage, line of sight to the hotel entrance. Backup if things went wrong. The lobby was empty except for a desk clerk reading a magazine. He barely looked up when they entered. I'll be right here, Chen said. Took a seat with a view of the elevators. You go up. I'll watch your back. Thanks. Emma took the elevator to the 4th floor, walked down the hallway, found room 412, knocked. It's open. Emma pushed the door open. Vance sat in a chair by the window, uniform, pressed, clean, like he'd just come from a ceremony. Gunnery Sergeant Reyes, thank you for coming. Emma stepped inside, closed the door, scanned the room. No one else. No obvious threats. You said you wanted to talk. I did. Please sit. I'll stand. Vance smiled. Thin smile. Still the warrior, even after all these years. Cut the bullshit, Colonel. Why am I here? Because you filed a complaint. Because you're asking questions. Because you're threatening to undo 7 years of very careful work. Work, is that what you call it? Murdering Marines. I call it necessity. You wouldn't understand. Try me. Vance stood, walked to the window. Do you know why Task Force Phantom existed? Emma's stomach tightened. I know enough. No, you know what you were told. That you were special operators. That you ran black missions. That you were the best of the best. Vance turned. But that was a lie. You were never supposed to succeed. You were supposed to be deniable assets. Expendable. Tools to be used and discarded. What are you talking about? Task Force Phantom wasn't a combat unit. It was a cleanup crew. Your missions were designed to eliminate problems. People who knew too much. People who asked too many questions. People like you. Emma's hands clenched. That's insane. Is it? Think about your missions. The targets you were sent after. Most of them weren't enemy combatants. They were contractors. Informants. assets who'd outlived their usefulness. We were told they were insurgents, high-value targets. You were told what you needed to hear to pull the trigger. Vance pulled out a file, threw it on the table. Read it, your entire mission history, every target, every operation, all carefully designed to eliminate witnesses and cover tracks. Emma picked up the file, opened it, read. Her hands started shaking. The targets, the missions, the people her team had killed. They weren't insurgents, they were intelligence assets. Contractors, people who'd worked with the US government and then became liabilities. This can't be real. It's very real. And you were very good at it. 7 Marines. 43 confirmed kills across 18 months, all of them people who needed to disappear. Captain Walsh knew. Walsh was the architect. He handpicked you, trained you, sent you on missions, and when it was time to tie up loose ends, he took you to Ramadi. Emma's breath was shallow. The ambush. You're saying Walsh set it up. Walsh set it up. I facilitated it. Kessler funded it. And 40 insurgents executed it. Except you weren't supposed to survive. None of you were. The entire team was supposed to die in that ambush. Neat. Clean. Problem solved. Why? Because you were asking questions. Because Captain Walsh was getting nervous. Because Task Force Phantom knew too much and was becoming a liability itself. Emma's world was spinning. 7 years. 7 years she'd thought her team died because of bad luck, bad intel, random chance. But it was murder. Premeditated, calculated, ordered by people they trusted. Walsh didn't die in the ambush, Emma said quietly. Vance smiled. No, he didn't. He's alive, living very comfortably in the Caymans under a new name. Retired, rich, free. You let him live. We paid him to live, $2 million, in exchange for silence, in exchange for disappearing. And the rest of my team, collateral damage. Emma's hand moved to her weapon. I should kill you right now. You should, but you won't, because you're being recorded, because there are agents listening, because killing me solves nothing. Vance sat back down. I'm offering you the same deal Walsh got, $2 million. New identity, disappear, and everyone you care about stays alive. I'm not Walsh. No, you're better. You survived Ramadi. You survived the Canal Road. You're a fighter, which is why we need you gone. Dead or disappeared doesn't matter, as long as you stop asking questions. Emma pulled out her weapon, pointed it at Vance. I'm not disappearing. Then you're choosing death. For you, for Chen, for Martinez, for everyone you care about. We'll see. Emma pressed the panic button. Vance's expression changed. What did you do? Called in backup. They'll be here in 90 seconds. Vance moved fast. Gun appeared in his hand, pointed at Emma. You stupid girl. You think they'll get here in time? You think I came here alone? The door burst open. Not from the hallway, from the adjoining room. 3 men, armed, professional, moving with military precision. Emma fired, hit the first one. He went down. The second one returned fire. Emma dove behind the bed. Bullets tore through the mattress, through the wall, through everything. Emma rolled, came up firing, hit the second shooter in the leg. He fell. The third one tackled her. They hit the floor hard. Her weapon skittered away. He punched her. Once, twice. Emma blocked the third, got her knee up, drove it into his ribs. He grunted, lost his grip. Emma grabbed a lamp, smashed it across his head. He went down. Vance was moving toward the door. Emma was faster. She kicked his knee. He fell. His gun went flying. She pinned him, weapon to his head. Where's Walsh? Go to hell. Wrong answer. Emma pressed the barrel harder. I asked where Walsh is. You won't shoot me. You need me for the trial. I need you breathing. Doesn't mean I need you intact. Emma aimed at his shoulder. Last chance. Footsteps in the hallway. Heavy, fast, Multiple people. The door exploded inward. Tactical team. Weapons up. Federal agents, drop your weapon. Emma didn't move. This man is Colonel Marcus Vance. He's under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, obstruction of justice, and treason. Ma'am, lower your weapon. Not until he tells me where Captain Walsh is. Ma'am? Tell them, Colonel. Tell them where Walsh is hiding, or I pull this trigger and claim self-defense. Vance's eyes were wide, scared. Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman, West Bay, house on 7 Mile Beach. Name is Richard Morrison now. Emma holstered her weapon, stepped back. Let the agents take Vance. Monroe appeared in the doorway. You okay? Fine. 3 shooters down, 1 suspect in custody. Emma looked at Vance being cuffed. He confessed. All of it. Task Force Phantom. The ambush. Walsh. Everything. We got it on tape, every word. Good. Now get me a phone. I need to call General Hayes. Monroe handed over her phone. Emma dialed. Hayes answered on the second ring. Sir, it's Gunnery Sergeant Reyes. I have information on Captain Walsh's location. Cayman Islands. I need authorization to pursue. Stand down, Gunnery Sergeant. We'll handle Walsh. Sir, with respect, this is personal. He killed my team. I need to be there when he's arrested. Silence on the line. Then, you have 24 hours. After that, he's CID's problem. Understood. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Emma hung up, looked at Monroe. I need transport to Grand Cayman, tonight. That's outside my authority. Then get me someone whose authority it is. Monroe made calls, pulled strings. 2 hours later, Emma and Chen were on a military transport heading to Grand Cayman. Monroe came too. So did Garrett. So did 4 agents and a full tactical team. They landed at 0300. Local police were waiting. Coordination had been done in advance. The Cayman government wanted Walsh gone. He'd been bribing officials, causing problems. They were happy to help. The house on 7 Mile Beach was huge, gated, security cameras, guards at the gate. Standard approach, Monroe asked. No. Emma looked at the house, at the proof that Walsh had lived rich while her team died poor. I'm going in alone. That's not negotiable. He was my commander, my responsibility. I'm doing this. Garrett handed her a warrant. Arrest warrant, signed by a federal judge. Murder, conspiracy, treason. He fights back, you're authorized to use lethal force. Emma took the warrant, walked toward the gate. The guards saw her coming, raised their weapons. U.S. federal agent. I have a warrant for the arrest of Richard Morrison, also known as Captain James Walsh. Lady, you got the wrong house. No, I don't. Emma held up the warrant. You can let me in, or I can call in the tactical team behind me and they'll blow the gate. Your choice. The guards looked at each other, looked at the warrant, looked at the armed Marines behind Emma, made the smart choice. They opened the gate. Emma walked in, up the driveway, to the front door. It was unlocked. She went inside. Walsh sat in the living room, drink in his hand, watching the ocean through floor-to-ceiling windows. He didn't turn when she entered. Hello, Emma. Captain. It's Richard now. James Walsh died in Ramadi. Remember? Emma walked around to face him. I remember. I remember Jackson dying, Hayes dying, Martin Kim Rodriguez Thompson. I remember all of them. Casualties of war. Casualties of your greed. Emma threw the warrant on the table. You're under arrest. Walsh picked up the warrant, read it, smiled. You really think this will work? You think they'll convict me? I have lawyers. I have money. I have leverage. You have nothing. Vance confessed. Everything. The missions. The ambush. The payoff. All of it. Walsh's smile faded. Marcus talked. He sang like a canary. Stupid bastard. I told Kessler he was weak. Kessler's next, then the woman, then everyone else in your network. We're dismantling all of it. Walsh stood. You don't understand what you're interfering with. Task Force Phantom wasn't just about cleaning up messes. It was about protecting American interests, about doing what needed to be done. By murdering Americans, by eliminating liabilities, people who would have exposed operations, endangered assets, gotten more people killed. So you killed them first. Yes, and I'd do it again. Walsh moved toward the window. Those 43 people you killed, they were all guilty, all complicit, all deserving. And my team, were they deserving too? Your team knew too much, started asking questions. Jackson was going to file a report. Hayes was talking to his wife. Martin kept a diary. They were liabilities. So you had them killed. I had them eliminated. It's different. Emma's hand moved to her weapon. Turn around. Put your hands on your head. Or what? You'll shoot me. Walsh turned. Go ahead. Pull the trigger. Just like I taught you. Quick. Clean. No hesitation. Emma raised her weapon, pointed it at Walsh. Finger on the trigger. She could do it. End him right here. Justice for 7 Marines. For the 43 people Task Force Phantom killed. For everyone Walsh had destroyed. 1 pull. 1 bullet. Done. But Chen's voice echoed in her head. You're not broken. You're human. And Martinez's words. Thank you for showing me it's possible to survive and still be yourself. Emma lowered the weapon. No. No. You don't get the easy way out. You don't get to die a soldier. You're going to prison. You're going to stand trial. And you're going to face every family of every Marine you killed. That's real justice. Walsh lunged, pulled a gun from behind his back. Emma was faster. She fired once, hit his arm. The gun fell. Walsh dropped to his knees. You should have killed me. Yeah, I should have. Emma cuffed him. But I'm not you. The tactical team entered, took Walsh into custody. Monroe appeared. It's done, Emma said. Not quite. We still need Kessler and the woman. Where are they? We don't know. Vance wouldn't give them up. Said he doesn't know their current location. Then we find them. That could take months. I've got time. But they didn't need months. 3 days later, Kessler tried to leave the country. FBI arrested him at Dulles Airport. He had a briefcase full of cash and a passport with a fake name. He talked within 2 hours. The woman's name was Sarah Hendricks, former CIA, ran a private intelligence firm. She'd orchestrated the entire network. Vance was her inside man. Kessler was her financier. Walsh was her operator. And she had 14 other operations running, different units, different targets, same pattern. FBI raided her office in Virginia, found everything. Files, records, communications, proof of conspiracy spanning 12 years and 87 deaths. She was arrested without incident. Didn't even resist, just smiled and asked for her lawyer. The trial took 6 months. Emma testified. Chen testified. Martinez testified. 27 other witnesses testified. The evidence was overwhelming. Vance got life without parole. Kessler got 40 years. Walsh got death. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Hendricks got death too. She showed no emotion when the verdict was read, just that same cold smile. Emma was there for all of it, every day, every testimony, every verdict. When it was finally over, Hayes called her to his office. How do you feel? He asked. Empty. That's normal. Justice doesn't always feel satisfying. I thought it would feel like closure, like I could finally move on. Can you? Emma thought about it. About 7 years of running, of hiding, of trying to forget. Maybe, eventually. Hayes pulled out a folder. The Corps wants to reinstate Task Force Phantom. Different mission, different structure, legitimate operations, proper oversight. They want you to lead it. No. You sure it's a promotion, major, command authority, chance to rebuild something good from something broken? I'm sure. Task Force Phantom died in Ramadi. It should stay dead. Then what do you want? I want to train, teach, help other Marines survive what I survived. The Reyes Protocol. Yeah, but more than that. Survival, combat medicine, mental health. Everything the Corps doesn't teach, but should. Hayes nodded. I can make that happen. You'll be assigned to Quantico, Training Command. Full staff, full support. Thank you, sir. Don't thank me. You earned it. You survived when no one else did. You fought when everyone else quit. You got justice when justice seemed impossible. The Corps needs more Marines like you. Emma stood, saluted. The Corps needs fewer officers like Vance, like Walsh, like everyone who put mission before people. Agreed. We're working on that, slowly. But we're working on it. Emma left his office, walked across the base. Marines stopped, saluted. Some called her Phantom. Some called her Gunny. Some just nodded. She found Chen and Kowalski at the memorial wall. A new name had been added, Captain James Walsh, but with an asterisk, and below it, killed in action, dishonorably, under investigation, status pending. They're going to remove it, Chen said. Once the appeals are done, Walsh doesn't deserve to be on this wall. No, he doesn't. Emma touched the other names, the real heroes. But these 7 do. Martinez appeared. She'd been reassigned to Quantico too, working with Emma, training other women, showing them they didn't have to disappear to survive. You ready? Martinez asked. For what ceremony? They're unveiling the Task Force Phantom Memorial. All 7 names, official recognition. Emma hadn't known. When? Now, come on. They walked to the parade ground. A crowd had gathered. 200 Marines, families, press. A covered monument stood in the center, 7 feet tall, black marble, draped in a flag. General Hayes stepped up to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, we gather today to honor 7 Marines who gave their lives in service to this nation. Marines who were killed not by the enemy but by the very people sworn to protect them. This memorial stands as a reminder of their sacrifice, and as a promise that their deaths will never be forgotten. Gunnery Sergeant Reyes, will you do the honors? Emma walked forward, hands shaking. She pulled the flag away. 7 names carved in marble, 7 faces etched in stone. Below them, Task Force Phantom, silent, swift, sure, killed in action. Ramadi, 2018. They gave everything. We owe them everything. Emma traced the names. Jackson, Hayes, Martin, Kim, Rodriguez, Thompson. Walsh's name had been replaced with Captain Samuel Morrison, the man Walsh had been before greed corrupted him. I'm sorry, Emma whispered. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm sorry I survived when you didn't. But I promise you this. Your deaths meant something. Your sacrifice stopped something evil, and your names will be remembered forever. The crowd stood in silence. Then slowly they began to applaud. Not loud, not celebratory, just respect, acknowledgement, honor. Emma stood at attention, saluted her fallen team, held the salute until her arm ached. When she finally lowered it, Martinez was beside her, then Chen, then Kowalski, then more. 20 Marines, 50, 100, all standing at attention, all saluting, all honoring the fallen. Emma felt something she hadn't felt in 7 years. Peace, not complete, not perfect, but real. The kind that comes from knowing you did everything you could, that justice was served, that the dead were honored, that the truth was finally known. Later that night, Emma sat in her quarters, the challenge coin on her desk, the tattoo visible on her shoulder, the memories still present but less sharp, less painful. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Gunnery Sergeant Reyes. Yes. This is Staff Sergeant Julia Cross. I'm calling because I heard about what you did, about Task Force Phantom, about the trial. And I wanted to thank you. Thank me for what? For standing up, for fighting back, for showing us that justice is possible. I was assaulted by my platoon sergeant 2 years ago. I never reported it. I was too scared. But after hearing your story, after watching you take down a colonel and a CIA officer and an entire conspiracy, I decided to report it. Today. And I wanted you to know that you inspired that. Emma's throat was tight. Did they believe you? They did. He's being investigated. It's not over yet, but it started. And that's because of you. That's because of you. You're the one who had the courage to speak up. You gave me that courage. Thank you, Gunnery Sergeant. Thank you for being Phantom. The line went dead. Emma set down the phone, looked at the coin, at the proof of what she'd been, what she'd survived, what she'd become. She picked it up, held it to the light. Silent, swift, sure. Not anymore. Now she was something different, something better. Not a ghost operating in shadows. Not a weapon to be used and discarded. Not invisible. Not silent. Not disappeared. She was Gunnery Sergeant Emma Reyes. Survivor. Fighter. Teacher. Voice for those who couldn't speak. Justice for those who'd been wronged. Hope for those who thought there was none. She was Phantom, not the ghost, the legend, the Marine who didn't quit, who didn't hide, who didn't let the bastards win, and she was done running, done hiding, done pretending to be less than she was. The broken rifle they handed her in battle had become a symbol of everything she'd overcome. The 7 names on her shoulder had become her purpose. The coin in her hand had become her reminder that the past didn't define her, but it did shape her. And what it shaped was someone who would never again stay silent when speaking up could save a life. Never again disappear when standing up could change everything. Never again let fear win when courage was the only answer. Because Emma Reyes had learned the hardest truth of all survival wasn't about staying alive. It was about living for something bigger than yourself, fighting for people who couldn't fight back, being the Marine she wished she'd had in Ramadi, being the person Martinez needed, being the legend that would inspire others long after she was gone. She wasn't broken anymore. She was forged, tempered by fire and loss and pain and triumph. And she was ready for whatever came next. Because Phantom never died. She just got stronger.